Happy morning, children. How are you all? Hope you are all fine. Today we are going to see the chapter Money and Credit. In this video, I am going to cover the entire chapter. So those who missed the previous class like Zoom and other video class, if you see this video, it will be really useful for you. So I am going to cover the entire chapter in two video. So today we are going to see the half of the chapter in part 1. So we'll start our today's class. The first topic we are going to see is the medium of exchange. Okay, we know very well what is medium of exchange. So the medium of exchange means anything which can be useful in the exchange process. It is called medium of exchange. It may be anything, commodity or money or grains, anything which is used in the exchange process, that is called medium of exchange. That medium of exchange is divided into two things. One is a barter system and the other one is called money. First we will see the barter system. In the barter system, first we have to know what is barter system. Okay, so the barter system means the commodities are exchanged against commodities without the use of money. We won't use any money in the barter system. Only the commodities will be exchanged. Okay, so if you want to function the barter system, you must need the double coincidence of wants. Without this, the barter system cannot exist. So what is double coincidence of wants? Two parties have to agree to buy and sell each other commodities. That is called double coincidence of wants. Okay, so we'll take an example. Two persons. Okay, person A name is called Ramu and person B name is called Somu. Ramu is having wheat and Somu is having milk. Ramu and Somu, they must be agreed to exchange milk for wheat and wheat for milk. Okay, if any one person is not agreed to exchange, then the barter system cannot happen there. Okay, so that is called the double coincidence of wants. Without using the money, they will exchange the commodity directly. That is called the barter system. Okay, so we are having a lot of drawbacks in the barter system. The first drawbacks already we saw that the double coincidence of wants. Okay, we will see in the anti-clockwise. The second important drawback is lack of common measure of value. So we know that now we are having the common measurement for the values. Okay, for example, if we are taking the grains, we will measure that in grams and kilograms. Okay, if we are taking any liquid thing like milk, we will measure that in the liter. Okay, the ancient times they don't know that how much grains they can exchange for how many liters of milk. Okay, or else how many dozens of apples or orange they can exchange for the grains. Okay, so they don't have the common measurement, so they don't know that for what quantity they can exchange for the other product. It will be very difficult for them to find the exact measurement. Okay, then the third thing is indivisibility of certain goods. Okay, so indivisibility means few products they cannot divide it. For example, if we take a living organisms, okay, so if it is a living thing means that cannot be divided. So for example, if a person is having a 1 kg of grain, okay, and another one person is having a camel, so the camel they cannot say that I will give you the head alone, later I will give you the remaining. That they cannot say it. Or else they are having a pair of shoes or the slippers, okay, they cannot say that one slipper alone I will give you and the next slipper I cannot give you. They cannot divide the things, few things. Okay, so in that case the barter system cannot be exist. And the next important drawback is difficulty in making deferred payments. Deferred payments means future payments. Okay, they cannot get the barter system in credit. So they cannot say that I will give you the milk now and later in future I will get this product. They cannot have the credit system in the barter system, because the two person they have to agree the commodities to exchange it. Okay, whatever commodity they are having, they must agree to exchange it. So they cannot have any credit in the barter system. It will be very difficult for the persons to maintain a correct account for that. And the last, the difficulty is difficulty in storing value. So if it is a perishable commodity, they cannot store it for a long time. Okay, for example, the egg, the vegetables, fruits or grains. Okay, if they are storing for a longer period, its quality will be affected. Okay, so they cannot store these kind of products in the for a longer period. But in the barter system, only the commodity will be exchanged. The commodity or services will be exchanged. Okay, so they cannot store these kinds for a longer period. So these are the important drawbacks that we can see in the barter system. And now we'll go to the money. So money may be anything. Okay, it may be anything, but it must be acceptable by everyone. So we are having the definition for money. Money can be defined as anything that is generally accepted as a means of exchange and at the same time act as a measure and store of value. Okay, so already we saw what is a means of exchange, the medium of exchange, but at the same time the money must have the measurement. Okay, so we know what is measurement, the common measurement, and it must be able to store it for a period, store of value. So whenever they want, when they want, they can take it and they can use that money. That is called the money. So the clear definition they had given for you the money. Okay, so we have to know that. So in the barter system we are using the commodities. In the money system we are using the money. So we know very well which one is better. Okay, so why transactions are made in money. Okay, so if a person is having a cash in hand, so if a person needs some commodities, so that directly he can go to the shop and he can purchase whatever commodity he wants, and he can give the money to the buyer, to the seller, and he can get the commodities. Okay, but in case of barter system, he has to search the person, the right partner he has to search, then only he can exchange. But in case of money, in case of in this kind of medium, he don't want to search anyone. Directly if he is having money, he can go to the shop. Okay, whatever commodity he want, he can take it, or he can get from the seller, he can pay through the money. Okay, no person he don't want to search for this, isn't it? As well as if the seller is well known for the buyer, the seller will ready to give the credit. Okay, so if you are having a nearby shops, the petty shops, okay, the grocery shops, so you can have the account in that. The credit system also you can get in the recent times. Okay, so the money system will be very useful. So if you are having cash in hand, it will be very useful to get the commodities. Okay, so there is a lot of drawbacks in the barter system. So only the people, they started to find the alternative, that is called the currencies. Okay, the next thing we are going to see is a function of money. We know that the money is having a lot of function. So now we are going to see only the 4 important functions of money. So what are the drawbacks we saw in the barter system? That are the advantages of the money. Okay, because the money eliminates the need of double coincidence of funds. So what are the drawbacks we saw in the barter system? That are all the advantage to the money. Okay, the first function of money is the medium of exchange. Okay, money can be used for buying and selling goods or services. The second thing is unit of account. Money is common standard to measuring relative worth goods and services. So we are having a common measurement here. The third thing is store of value. So it enables the people to buy and sell good services in different times and places. Okay, so in different times and different places they can use this money. The fourth most important thing is standard of deferred payments. So the many contracts promise to pay fixed sum of money well in the future. Okay, yeah, you can have the deferred payments. Future payment also will acceptable in the function of money. Okay. Any doubt in this? If you are having doubt, we can ask in your Niral's classroom. The next section we have to see, the next thing we are going to see is the modern forms of money. Under that we are having two forms of money. One is a old forms of money, another one is a new forms of the modern forms of money. Okay, in the old forms of money we learn about the Sirsa Suri and the Akbar. Okay, so in the 6th century BC only they started to print the metallic coins. Okay, the first coin were printed in the 6th century BC, because during that time only they started to discover the metals. Okay, the silver coin were printed by the king Sirsa Suri, and that silver coin name is called rupiah. Okay, Sirsa Suri, he printed the silver coin and that coin name is called rupiah. In the old forms of money, the people they use the gold, silver and copper coins. Okay, so till the 1947, till the Mughal period, the metallic money was circulated. But after the Reserve Bank of India, after we got independence, the Reserve Bank of India, they started to issue the currency notes. Okay, under the currency notes we are having two things. One is a paper note, another one is called the coins. Okay dear, paper notes and coins. The paper notes will be issued by the Reserve Bank of India in the place Nasik. Okay, the paper notes will be printed in the place Nasik and it will be issued by the Reserve Bank of India. And the coins, the metallic coins will be issued by the central government in the place Nagpur. Okay, the metallic coins will be printed by the central government in the place Nagpur. You must have a clear idea between the currency notes and the coins. Okay, metallic coins. And the next things we are going to see is a deposit with bank. Okay, why the people they are depositing with the bank? So when the people is having extra cash, if they are having the cash in hand, they will tempt to tempt to purchase more commodities. Okay, in order to save that money, the people what they will do? They will go and deposit that money in the bank. That is called demand deposits. Okay, so people whenever they don't want a full money, they will open a bank account in the bank in their name and they will deposit that money. For that the bank will give interest. Okay, so since the deposit in the bank account can be withdrawn on demand, these deposits are called demand deposits. Okay, these deposits are called demand deposits. And the next thing we are going to see is a check. Okay, so the most important thing is a check, but nowadays we are not using the check. We are using very rarely only while getting the loan, or if we are purchasing any vehicles in the loan installments we are getting now, for that we have to give a blank check to the company. Okay, so for that we are using the check, as well as the business people they will use the check. So we are having a definition for the check. We will see that now. Check is a paper instructing the bank to pay a specific amount from the person's account to the person's account in whose name the check has been issued. Okay, the facility of checks against demand deposit makes it possible to directly settle the payments without the use of cash. Okay, so directly the cash won't be involved in the check. And we know very well that more than 3 months if you are having the check, that check will become a stale check. Okay, if more than 3 months the check is not in use, that check is called a stale check. The next important thing we are going to see is a cashless transaction. Okay, in the cashless transactions we are using the digital currencies. Under that only we saw about the digital dollar and the cryptocurrency, other things. Okay, so the digital currencies are the online payments, the cashless transactions. Even we can have it our credit card, debit card, online payments. Okay, under the online payments we are having that Google Pay, Amazon Pay, direct internet online transaction, internet banking, mobile banking. You know more than me, darlings. Okay, you know very well about this, the online transactions. So these are all will come under the cashless transactions. The cash won't be involved directly. Okay, to explain you more about the forms of money, we are going to see a small video.
Evolution of money, from barter to digital money. Have you ever wondered how money came into existence? Centuries ago, there was no money. So how did people buy and sell? It all started with the barter system. Imagine a prosperous kingdom. In this kingdom, there were people doing different types of work, like weavers, cobblers, farmers, tailors, etc. This is Kisna, a farmer. This is Manoj, a cobbler. When Manoj needs vegetables, he goes to Kisna and exchanges a pair of slippers for the vegetables he needs. Both are happy. This is known as barter system. The system by which one person could exchange goods and services produced by him with goods and services produced by another. This is called a barter system. Barter system works on double coincidence principle. Two coincidences have to happen. One is that you should find someone who's willing to sell what you want, and second is that the seller wants something that you're willing to sell. But does barter system always work? The direct exchange of one commodity for another requires direct satisfaction of both parties. Now, Manoj needs more vegetables and goes to Kisna, but Kisna doesn't need more footwear. Hence, no barter takes place. Now, Manoj needs a haircut and goes to Shambhu the barber. But the value of the haircut is much lesser than the value of a pair of slippers. And the slipper cannot be divided, and hence no barter takes place. Manoj needs milk, but the quantity of milk to be received in exchange for a pair of slippers is very high. And with milk being perishable, Manoj doesn't want to take too much of it. Hence, barter does not take place. Thus, the exchange of goods was not easy. Imagine the confusion. That's why the barter system gradually ended. But what was the alternative? Around the same time, metals were discovered and took over the ancient world. In the 6th century BC, the first coins resembling the current ones appeared. They were small metal pieces with fixed weight and value, and bearing an official seal, which is the mark of the government who has minted them and also a guarantee of their value. The first metals used were gold and silver. In the Mauryan period, gold, silver, and copper coins were being used. King Sher Shah Suri issued a silver coin which was termed as rupiah. The Hindi word rupiah is derived from the Sanskrit word rupya, which means a coin of silver. The silver coin remained in use during the Mughal period, the Maratha era, as well as in British India. After independence of India in 1947 and the accession of the princely states to the new union, the Indian rupee replaced all the currencies of previously autonomous states. After its formation, the Reserve Bank of India issued notes and coins on behalf of the Government of India. India has progressed a lot and now has many digital payment options like credit cards, wallets, online transfer facility, thus moving from a cash to a cashless.
Next topic we are going to see is the loan activities of banks. So the people, they are depositing the extra cash in the bank. So what the bank will do with the extra cash? So the bank will collect the cash from the depositors and they will extend to the loan activities. They will use that money to extend the loan. Okay. So the bank, they will act as a mediator between those who are having the extra cash and those who need the money. Okay, the bank will act as a mediator between the depositors and the borrowers. The banks will collect more interest from the borrowers and they will give less interest to the depositors. The difference money will be the profit for the bank. Okay, so the bank, they cannot give all the money to the borrowers. The bank has to keep some money, some percentage of money with themselves. Okay, in your book they had given you 15%. That 15% is called as cash reserve ratio, CRR. Okay, that money is called cash reserve ratio, CRR. So in real life it is 4%. Okay. So that is the loan activities of bank. The next thing we are going to see is debt trap. Okay, the debt trap. So we are getting a credit from the bank or any other financial institutions. Sometimes the credit will be helpful to improve the situation, but sometimes it pushes the borrower into a situation in which the recovery is painful. Okay, the debt trap means the negative situation. Okay, we'll see the definition for the debt trap. At times, repayment of the loan becomes difficult and credit, instead of improving the earnings, pushes the borrower into a situation from which the recovery is difficult and painful. Okay, so if the borrower, they are not able to repay the loan, that situation is called the debt trap. The next thing we are going to see is a credit. Okay, so the loan is called the credit. For that also we are having a definition. I'll read out the definition. Credit loan refers to an agreement in which the lender supplies the borrower with money, goods or services in return for the promise of future payment. Okay, in some situation credit plays an important and a vital role, but in some situation it makes the situation of the borrower worse than before. Okay, credit sometimes it will be the positive one or sometimes it will be the negative one. Okay, so we must be very careful for what purpose we are getting the loan. Always it must be the productive purpose like business or education or housing. Okay, if you are constructing houses, from that you will get the rent and you can repay the loan. Okay, if you are getting for the education, okay, you can learn well and you will get the job, then you can repay the loan. If you are getting for the business, you will get profit, okay, then you can repay the loan. So only for the productive purpose you must get the loan. In villages, the people, they will get the loan for the unproductive purpose or some occasions like festivals, functions. Okay, for that also they will get the loan. So if they are getting for that, they cannot repay that loan, then they will caught into the debt trap. Okay, so the next topic is collateral. So the collateral means it is an asset. Okay, so whatever the property the borrower is having, that he must be pledged to the bank to get the loan. So I'll read out the collateral. Collateral is an asset that the borrower owns, such as land, building, vehicle, livestock, deposit with banks and other uses, and the borrower he must use as a guarantee to a lender until the loan is repaid. Okay, so it must be with the lender till the loan is repaid. If the borrower fails to pay the loan, the lender has the right to sell the asset or collateral to obtain payments. Okay, so the example for this, the properties such as land titles, deposit with banks, livestock are the common examples of collateral. Okay, collateral is one among the terms of credit. We are having 4 terms of credit. In that, the collateral will be one among them. The remaining things are the interest rate, documentation and the mode of repayment. First, we will see about the interest rate. Okay, so if a borrower he is going and approach the lender, so the lender will charge extra money as an interest. Okay, it may be every month or a quarter or half-yearly he has to pay the interest rate. Okay, the interest rate will be purely depending upon the lender. Lender can fix the interest rate. It may be very less interest or more interest. Okay, then the next thing is documentation requirement. So what are the documents the borrower he has to pledge to get the loan? For example, like the salary certificate, okay, or else the employment status, or else he is having other properties. So from that he is getting the rent, that he has to pledge it, or else he can have some shares or debentures or any other properties. Okay, either investment, that thing also he can pledge to the bank. Okay, then mode of repayment, how he will repay the loan, through installments or in a ready cash, through check or a cash mode. Okay, so these are the things comprised together are called the terms of credit. So you are having any doubt, please ask in the Niral's classroom dear. The next thing we are going to see is 2 different credit situations. Okay, so with this we will wind up our session. 2 different credit situations. For that we are having 2 examples. One is a positive and then one is a negative. First we will see a positive example. Salim, he is a shoe manufacturer. Okay, he received an order from a large trader for 3,000 pairs of shoes. Okay, within a month of time he has to deliver this order. To complete this order, Salim needs more workers to stitching and pasting. Okay, so he has to purchase the raw materials also. To meet his expenses, Salim needs some money. So he decided to get that loan from 2 sources. One is from the leather supplier. He asks the leather supplier to supply the leather now and he will pay the money later. The second is a large trader, okay, who gave the order. So he asked 1,000 pairs of shoes as an advance payment. Okay, so within the month of time, Salim able to successfully complete the order and he received the profit and he repaid the loan. In this, the credit will be act as a positive and vital role. The second case study is about the Swapna case study. Swapna is a small farmer. She grows the groundnut on her 3 acres of land. Okay, she takes a loan from the moneylender to meet the expenses of cultivation, and she thought that she can get a good production, but in between the crops are hit by the pest. Okay, she uses the expensive pesticides, but it makes only very little difference. So she is not able to repay the loan to the moneylender. So next year again she grows a groundnut, and this time it was a very normal crop. So Swapna is not able to get more profit in that. So she has to repay the loan. For that, she has to sell a part of a land to repay the debt. So what happened here? Instead of helping Swapna, here it makes her situation even more worse. So Credit, instead of helping Swapna improve her earnings, left her worse off. This is called the terms of credit. Okay, darlings, if you are having any doubt, you please ask in the Niral's classroom. So now I am going to give you the homework. You are having 3 homework, 4 questions as a homework. Please write your homework, take a snap and send it to me the given mail ID to your section. Thank you, darling. I hope this class will be very useful for you. Soon meet you in the next class. Bye, darlings.